morning. Welcome to your courthouse and to the County Commissioners meeting. I will ask you, before we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I would ask that when we do the moment of silence that you remember those who perished on 9/11/2000. And with that, if you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. The meeting will be recorded, or is being recorded. Executive session since last meeting.
We had one executive session for the prison board.
We had one executive session for the prison board. Correspondence received or outgoing.
There are none.
I will open the floor to public comment.
I have an announcement real quick, if that's okay. Are you already to public comments?
A public comment, yes.
Just wanted to announce our newest employee and our new HR generalist, Jacqueline Cofield. Jacqueline comes to us. We are honored that she has served our nation for 20 years in the Air Force, and we are honored to have her here, and I'm really excited about what she brings to the leadership of human resources and all the staff of Warren County. So I just wanted to make sure that she was properly introduced and welcomed.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Are there any other public comments? Seeing them, we'll move to the consent agenda, which includes minutes from the August 28, 2024 public meeting, fiscal report, HR report, monthly reports. I believe we have elections and public safety
Yes.
and proclamations, and I will.
Brenda is here to update on Veterans Affairs.
Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. So basically, we're continuing our average of about 30 veterans coming to our office and making claims per month on average. And we are working with the United Veterans Council on the Veterans Day dinner, which will be at the Eagles Club on the 11th of November. So we're working with them on that. We have in our office completed our annual training, which is an important thing for us to be able to keep our credentials for both myself and Mary. And then we're working with the Be Well Warrior folks out of the YMCA, and they are having a Warrior Resource Engagement event on November 9th, and we will have a table out there to help reach our military veterans and then any active duty that happen to be in town, our National Guard and reservists as well. So that's a fun event that's coming up. And then just recently, T-Mobile reached out to my office. They have basically routers that they can provide to people in the county, particularly veterans, that are having problems with connectivity, both for internet and then also accessing va.gov, those types of things. So we're going to test that out for them, help them out a little bit, see if it works for our county. If it does, it's something that I would bring to the commissioners to discuss on whether or not we feel like it would be a worthy investment of the county's finances to help provide those. at this point, I'd say, yes, it's worthy. However, I don't know. I have to sit down with the equipment and see if it's something that can be used throughout the county. So that's the latest and greatest out of the VA.
Thank you very much. So the only other thing that I wanted to point out under monthly department reports is we have the elections office monthly report. This August versus last August, we had an increase of 578 voters, so we're excited about that. Looking through the sources of those voters, what's interesting is that of those, 140 came from PennDOT. If you remember, PennDOT now is allowing and encouraging voter registration along with initial application for your license. So it seems as though that's working. In last month, there was 140 of those individuals who were registered to vote. So I'm hopeful that people will take the time not only to register to vote, but to go out and vote. So, thank you.
And I will read, we have a proclamation, the Remembrance and Commemoration of the September 11, 2021. Whereas it has been 22 years since the unimaginable became believable. The Twin Towers fell, United Flight 93 crashed, and the Pentagon was damaged. And the Americans united through the emotions of loss, determination, dedication of those who diligently labored to restore order and honor. Daily in Warren County are dedicated, volunteer, and paid firefighters, police officers, emergency medical technicians, fire police, and other public servants are on call wherever emergencies arise. Whereas Warren County remembers those lives lost on September 11, 2001, we honor those men and women who helped to keep us safe. The total number of lives lost, 2,977. 265 on 4 planes, 2,606 in the World Trade Center and surrounding areas, and 125 at the Pentagon. There were over 6,000 people injured. Now thereby it resolved that Warren County recognizes Monday, September 11th, 2024 as a day of commemoration and remembers for all those who performed their duties with great resolve, who honored, served, and at times committed themselves to the ultimate sacrifice, and who have given their lives to provide for our safekeeping, preserve our democracy, and protect our freedom. Adopted this 11th day of September 2024. Commissioners of Warren County, Kenneth Claycamp, Tricia Durbin, and Daniel Klotz. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Yes, I will make the motion to accept to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
A motion and second discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Unfinished business. We have no unfinished business. New business. Children Youth Services New Placement Home Agreement.
Hello, I'm back again. I need you guys to vote and decide whether or not you'll give permission for us to contract with a group home in Philadelphia called Dream Big Youth Home. We had 2 girls who were placed in Genesis Home in Philadelphia. That home on August 23rd was emergency closed because of a structural issue. We brought the girls back here for a short period of time. The girls were in Philadelphia because they're extremely difficult to place. They could not remain here. The Dream Big group home in Philadelphia is willing to accept them. We put them there September 4th, but we need permission in order to be able to finalize the contract because they're not on our regular list of contracted providers. They're $311 a day, which is one of our cheaper placements. Yeah. It's a group home of just 4 girls. So it's a nice small group home, and that's the setting that they came from. The Genesis home was also 4 girls, and they maintained there for a year and would have continued to maintain had they not had to close because of the structural issue of the house.
Thank you.
So,
With that being said, do I have a motion to accept the new placement home agreement?
I will make that motion.
A motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Agreement with Dickinson Center.
Good afternoon. The agreement was sent to us. Basically what the LTSR does is we have an inmate, it's like a step down halfway house before release. Somebody has a mental health diagnosis, they can go to there for a long-term rehab. It's not a secure facility, but we have sent inmates there in the past and we'd like to continue that.
That being said, do I have a motion to accept the agreement with Dickinson Center?
So moved.
A motion, do I have a second?
I will second that.
Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Armored fire sprinkler inspection contracts.
These are renewals.
The new contract.
Rouse Annex and the
Rouse Annex and the Courthouse. The Rouse Annex, the cost went from $260 last year to $280 this year for each inspection. And for the Courthouse, it increased from $615 to $640 for inspection.
These inspections are 4 times a year?
Yes.
Do I have a motion to accept inspection contracts?
I'll make a motion.
A motion, a second.
I'll second.
Discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Middleware Software Agreement, this is for the fob system.
This is our annual service agreement, and this is for our access to the building with the fob system.
We've upgraded some of them.
Is this a new fob vendor? Or is it the same
No,
one?
it's a
with
vendor
new
we
fobs?
have.
It's a vendor we had,
But it's just their new agreement for
Right.
the next year.
okay.
Yeah, I see we have a $300 discount. I'll make the motion to approve the agreement.
The motion, do I have a second?
I will second that motion.
Discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioner comments. Commissioner Irvin, do you have any?
I don't have any comments, thank you.
I'd just like to say thank you to Veterans Affairs for all the work you do with the veterans and the different opportunities that you're exploring. Thanks for thank you. Please pass that on to Mary as well.
The only comment that I would have is please, this is kind of a sacred day. I was still working. I was the chief deputy with the sheriff's office that day. And I'm sure you all remember, it was the day, September 11, 2001, was almost like a day like today. It was, the weather was today, the weather was absolutely gorgeous. So as you go throughout your day, take some time to think about that day. And please thank you about our freedom and those who have served and sacrificed for that. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion to adjourn.
And I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all for attending.
Thanks for coming, everyone.